ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
Just as advertised, our first flakes of the season arriving on this Thursday. Heavier bursts of snow showers this morning, enough to coat the ground and make it look really pretty. Of course, when those exited the area, they melted off, but the main batch moving in as we speak with accumulating snow into early Friday. Now, overall, the impact should be relatively low given the ground temperatures being fairly warm, including the roads. Now, the brisk wind combined with the cold air, that's going to knock our wind chill values down into the teens on Friday morning. That is something to keep in mind as well. And drying out, temperatures cool to begin the weekend, but moderating a little bit, I think, by Sunday. Viper radar showing the blue returning as that area of snow and the upper low rotate out of the western part of the Ohio Valley here, right down here into the Commonwealth, where you see the deeper blue. That's where we're seeing a moderate to potentially heavier burst, and that's essentially just south of the I-64 corridor, but there is more back to the northwest. This arriving just on schedule. A lot of the data nailing the timing on this, expecting it to arrive right as we hit the late afternoon commute. Some of the roadways beginning to get wet, and that is going to be the case this evening. As far as overall totals expected, no big major change of what we've been saying all week long. I think it's going to be either side of an inch. The majority of it is going to be on the grassy areas, the elevated surfaces. If we see a heavier burst, could see upwards of maybe 2 inches. Also, some of the bridges and the overpasses, we'll have to watch out for those along the Kentucky-Virginia border. Those ridge tops and higher elevations could see a bit more. Because this is the first accumulating snow of the season, the wind's up. It's going to be blowing around this evening and overnight, even though the criteria isn't officially met. Winter weather advisory out for all of central and eastern Kentucky into tomorrow morning. Mount Sterling from the Montgomery County Courthouse, a little snow flying there right at 32. So it has definitely been a cold day. And looking at some of the traffic cams around the area, notice how the road temperatures, yeah, they've cooled off, but they are above freezing, and that's key. Wet roadways at the southern split here in Lexington, US 60 in Frankfort, also along I-75 in Georgetown. Folks in southern southeast Kentucky, you will catch up as we go through the evening. Right around freezing, Jackson, Hazard, just above it. So actually our air temperature is slightly above freezing, but you throw that west wind at around 10 to 15 in there, and it feels more like the mid-20s. So the upper level system over Pennsylvania, and then we get these spokes of energy, these waves of low pressure rotating around it, and we're going to see more in the way of probably some steady snow, light to moderate through this evening. It begins to taper off after midnight, waking up tomorrow morning fairly quiet. And then another wave cruises through. But notice how temperatures will probably be into the low 40s. So I think a lot of this will just be in the form of a chilly rain. Through the evening and overnight, wind chill is still an issue, especially tomorrow morning, where they could be down into the teens. So plan ahead, dress accordingly. It will definitely be on the cold side. And then those winds, I think, back down a little bit heading into later tomorrow. Jumping ahead to the weekend, we finally kick all this stuff out. Mix of clouds and sunshine, dry, but still a little bit below average. But then that southwest flow really begins to kick in all the way back up to 58 on Sunday. So good news in that regard. But we've got another frontal boundary on the way as we kick off Thanksgiving week on Monday. Everything should be in the liquid form. You see how temperatures are going to spike up into the low 60s. Then that front moves through, and mainly dry for Tuesday. Cooler behind the boundary, and then as we get into the day on Wednesday, the travel day, look at this moisture and a wave of energy kind of working eastward, and the timing may be to where as folks hit the roadways, it could be a little wet around the area, so something we'll keep an eye on as we roll into next week. Breezy with some steady snow this evening, tapering off late. Be careful if you got to be out and about. Use caution. Again, visibilities will be down with the wind whipping some of that snow around. A little bit of a rain-snow mix early. I think most of it's going to be in the afternoon, just in the form of a few chilly showers as we work back into the low to mid-40s. The extended forecast dry for the weekend, which is good news. There's that wet weather to kick off Thanksgiving week. And again, late on the travel day and into Thanksgiving, Another round of showers look possible with afternoon highs in the upper 40s and low 50s.